I was talking to a friend just yesterday. This is a good example. And he said, it's interesting to me because if there's 1, 2, 3, or 4 people in a room, I feel super comfortable, confident. As soon as it turns to 5 or more, it becomes public speaking to me. Mm-hmm. And I start freaking out and I start underperforming. Mm-hmm. The trap for him in that moment would be, man, as soon as there's a group, I don't know how to speak anymore. So let me go find some speaking tips. How are you supposed to speak? What public speaking tips? What can I do to look more confident than I actually am? What can I do to make my thought more concise? Because as soon as there are a lot of people, I start rambling. And all of this list of things that I could change. Mm-hmm. I think what I'm arguing here is what that person actually needs is the ability to access a state in which he can just speak.
Exactly. And this is where the word preparation sends me and many people into the wrong route, in a sense, into the wrong mindset. Because what the person needs in the moment is the ability to access a state in which expression just flows, in which you can just speak and gather your thoughts. What the person does not need is to spend more time preparing. Now, one could argue that, well, actually preparing helps, because the ultra-speaking way of preparing is, hey, think through, find your one thing. What's the one thing you really want to say in this meeting? Think in terms of the bow and arrow. So what's your bow of stories and data and examples that support your one thing, right? So there is a way to prepare about it where you're not actually writing anything down. You're just thinking in your head, oh, I have a meeting coming up and I need to, what do I need to actually say? And that is a way of preparing, which you're thinking through just what matters. That's what it comes down to. It's what matters in this meeting? What do I want to get out of it? What I don't want to accidentally say, what I don't want to get across is that preparation is the answer to making you feel better. Now, what I really want to say is, in the moment, if you're a sharp person, if you know your stuff, because this is the most common client we see. The most common client we see is a person who's really smart, who got a quick brain, who's at the top of their game professionally, but they don't feel comfortable speaking. So you can say they suck at speaking under pressure. So they come to us and they say, I suck at speaking under pressure. It's really hard. I ramble. I lose my train of thought. And the thing that gets us kind of riled up is that most public speaking coaches will say, well, let's help you prepare. Let's help you write out things that you need to remember. In fact, let's work on some of the skills of speaking, like let's work on good eye contact, and let's work on hand gestures, and let's draft out your intro a little bit, and all these things, right? And what we're saying is those things are distractions. Just like for Matthew McConaughey, those things are distractions because when it's time to perform, he wants to have the feeling like he just got out of bed and he's ready to just do whatever he needs to do. He wants that feeling of presence and clarity. And so the real question that people don't ask a lot is how do I get clarity in this moment? Right? Because we believe when you have clarity, when you feel great, and you turn that pressure and you just say, you know what, there's no pressure here. I know exactly the intention of what this meeting's supposed to be about. When you feel that clarity, then the words don't really matter. The structure doesn't really matter. You're just able to say what you need to say in the moment, because that's how speaking works. And then it goes just fine. What you don't need are the tips and the tricks and the structures and the hand. You don't need any of that stuff. You need a way to find clarity. Am I capturing this how you see it?
I think the tips and tricks and everything else can be useful down the line. So there is let me put it differently. If you are able to feel like yourself, feel super comfortable, confident, in flow when speaking in the scenarios that matter to you, at that point, maybe it might be interesting to start learning a few tricks and to start learning a few ways of being more effective in your speaking.
Yes.
But I think it would be ridiculous to start with the last domino.